to switch gears to subaward document requests. So we want to give the sub-site some time, of course. So, that's one of the questions we talked about asking at the proposal kickoff meeting. Is there a sub-site? And if yes, check with your RPM at RMG to see who should be contacting the sub-site. Sometimes I do it. Sometimes the RPM says that he or she would prefer to do it. Either way is fine, as long as the contact goes out with enough time for them to prepare their documents. What are their required documents? There are 4 documents that they have to have. The signed OSR Form 33, that's the basic info on the project, and it has to be signed by their institutional official. A budget justification, and a statement of work that's usually 3 or 4 sentences describing what contribution that site is going to make to the overall project. Now, any additional documents you want to request, they're going to depend on the sponsor guidelines. So again, going back to your checklist that you created earlier, what parts of your checklist do you need sections also for the sub-site? The common ones are biosketches for the key personnel, definitely the subaward PI, and potentially also co-investigators. Facilities, equipment, the kinds of things available to them to do the work, same as we have for ours. And then a subaward PI letter of support, just saying that they're happy to collaborate. So in addition to that, not only are you asking for the sub-site for information, but you need to provide them some information so they can prepare their documents. What they need from you is the title of the proposal, the funding opportunity announcement, here we are again, the full project period. So what are the dates? Because they have their spreadsheets that do the calculations based on the dates, just like we do. And then what is the direct cost budget allocation that they're gonna have? They need to know that so that they can work on their budget. So this is a lot of info. So I have a document, this is in the training materials under pre-award management, subawards and consultants section. And I have this standard document request. This is just my checklist. And whenever I'm doing a subaward, I pull this up and take a look. So when I'm creating my email, I'm making sure that I'm addressing all these items. So this first set of documents, I'm always going to ask the sub-site for, and I'm going to attach a template. It says here, provide the template of the OSR Form 33. It's just on RMG's website. It's easy to download. I also saved a copy of it out here, the one that was revised at the end of last year, so you could use that if you wanted, but I always like to download a fresh copy in case they made another revision. I don't know when they make the revisions. And then if it's NIH and we're using the R&R budget attachment, provide that template, or they can, I ask for it both in the template and an Excel version so we can understand what their calculations are if there are any discrepancies. Justification statement of work, all the things we talked about. And then at the bottom, I say, here are some information on the proposal to help you as you prepare your documents. And I give all of this information. I've put here subaward PI active and pending support. Again, it's not required for NIH, but for National Science Foundation or Department of Defense, it is required at the proposal stage. So it's just a reminder to me, if I'm not doing NIH, I need to make sure whether or not that document is required. Okay, subaward document uploads. Okay, so now let's say 3 weeks have passed and now we have the documents. So we saw the performance site tab and assist, right? Where the project's being performed. We have Stanford at the top, and then we're going to use that OSR Form 33 to get the address and put down the performance site for the subaward. We're also going to add the subaward PI to the key personnel tab, and then we're going to upload that biosketch. And if they have COIs, we'll add them too. And where do you get their address? I just Google them. Every faculty member at every university has a page with at least a bare minimum of information about them. The subaward facilities and equipment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stanford facilities, I'm going to PDF it, I'm going to take my subaward facilities, I'm going to PDF it, and I'm going to combine them into one attachment, and that's going to go into assist under facilities. Same thing with equipment. Letters of support, same thing. In the research plan tab, the letters of support live, and I would just add the subsites to anybody else's that the PI has collected and wants to include. And then if the subsite is doing any human subjects, I talked to the PI about that. We do not have a scientific background. We can't make that decision, but we can ask the question, should we be adding any human subjects information from them? Are they recruiting patients? Are they providing samples? And then we would put that in there. So that's kind of how subawards work. Consultants are pretty simple in comparison. A consultant is just a person who is providing some particular expertise outside of their regular university time, and they're doing it for a certain amount of dollars per hour for a certain number of hours per year. So all we need from them is a signed letter of support, and we need a bio sketch. So the letter has to have a statement of work and details on the hourly rate and number of hours worked per year. So I have actually in here a consultant letter of support template that you can start from. And it's just, this is a Stanford PI. And they just say they're writing a letter to serve as a consultant on your project and get the title. And then they put in that scope of work, again, the 3 or 4 lines, and then talk about how they understand that this is a consulting arrangement, that it's not through the university. If it was through the university, it would be a sub-site, and that they have permission. And then the anticipated budget, this is just a made up number, $1,000 a day. And then that would be 15 hours a year, right? 15,000 in year 1, and then 10 in years 2 and 3, whatever the details are. You can send them this template and let them revise it as needed. And then you're going to put their bio sketch in the key personnel section alongside the bio sketches of the PIs and co-Is at Stanford and the PIs and co-Is at the Subaward site. That's all you need at the proposal stage. Now there's a whole thing that happens if it gets funded and you want to set up that consultant, but we're not worried about that. We're just trying to get the proposal ready.